Hello, good morning, welcome to Better Life. I'm Dr. Ayuakishete, and today I want us to take a second part to the question that we answered the last time. A young man had been living with this young lady. They have 3 children. And after 7 years, the young man said in recent times, the young lady has been very troublesome. He said he's not enjoying her again, and therefore he wants to opt out, particularly because he didn't wed her. He didn't marry her officially. So the first part of the answer that was given is about marriage. Now, the young man said he wanted to opt out since he didn't marry her. And we emphasized the fact that they were married, but illegally. They were married, but they were not legally married. Now, there is need to marry legally. So everyone who is cohabiting, every man who is living with a woman is not legally married to, is not officially married to. You need to go and officialize the marriage. Now, let's take care of the second part of that question. The second part of that question is that they are having quarrel. They are having misunderstanding. And that's the part I want to handle today. Whether you are legally married or you are planning to legalize your illegal marriage, you are going to have quarrel. There is no marriage without issues. The reason it appears some marriages are perfect is because the couples have grown to understand how to manage their crisis, how to manage their problems, how to manage their misunderstandings. Basically, the matters crippling some marriages is also happening in some other marriages, but because of the way they are handling them with maturity, it appears those matters are not in existence. Just as some people's lives is as if demons' headquarters is in their house. And there are some other people who are living as if demons are not in existence. Demons are on the earth everywhere, but they are not powerful everywhere. Some people, because of their union with God, because of they are fellowshipping with God in the place of prayer, they have practically paralyzed demonic activities in their lives and around their lives. In the same vein, some people, because of upgrade of knowledge, because of maturity, because of ability to refrain from saying nonsense, to refrain from speaking the obvious, they have been able to manage their crisis. Now, here is my first counsel. If you are having marital crisis, please seek for counsel. Seek for counsel. Seek for counsel. You see, it is very difficult to sit back and think out a solution, except you have come to a certain pedestal in your journey of wisdom. It's difficult. Yeah. When marital crisis hit, even thinking becomes difficult. When marital challenges hit, to sit down and reason objectively becomes almost difficult. So you may need to seek counsel. Seek counsel. Seek counsel. There are people who can help you to spot your problems. Because most of the time, as a marriage counselor, I have discovered that most couples who are having serious crisis, it is their crisis they know. They don't know the cause of the crisis. Even the things they mention as the cause of their crisis, they are not the root cause. They are not the root cause. So a lot of times you may need a professional marriage counselor to help you pinpoint the problem. I was speaking with a young man just this past week. So when I asked him, so what's the problem? I've heard from your wife. What do you think is the problem? All the things he mentioned, as he was talking about them, I could spot the problem. So when he finished, I told him, look, that is not the real problem. This is the real problem. This is the real problem. That is the real problem. By the time I was done talking to him, he said, he said, I never thought of that. I never thought in that direction. Yeah. Look, there are marriage doctors. And by God's grace, I am one. They see things that you cannot see. The same way a doctor can look at you and tell you, you have fever. And you are not feeling pains yet. He can see it in your eyes. He can see it on your skin. He can see it in 1 or 2 places that you may not be able to see. In the same vein, there are root causes to your problem. There are core problems that you may have. They are the real reason this kind of crisis is recurring in your life. You are not aware they are the problem. You may need a counselor to help you. Basically, counsel is borrowing another person's wisdom. And believe me, there is nobody whether married or single. There is no part of life where you can survive alone on your own wisdom. You need to borrow wisdom from others. So that you are going for counseling does not mean you are stupid. That you are going for counseling does not mean you are not wise. That you are going for counseling does not mean you are a fool. It only means you need to borrow somebody's wisdom to sort out your crisis. It only means you need to borrow somebody's wisdom to sort out your crisis. I have 2 mentors that my wife and I talk to in case there is a problem in our marriage. 2. In case the fact that somebody is a marriage counselor does not mean you cannot have a problem. It does not. Doctors fall sick and they will need another person to treat them. So please listen. Counseling is one of the measures that God had earmarked to help people to solve their problems. That's why the scripture told us that in the multitude of counsel there is safety. In the multitude of counsel there is safety. Are you having marital crisis? Like the young man whose question we are answering now, go for counseling. Don't divorce your wife. Don't separate yet. Go for counseling. I want to sincerely say there is no marital problem without a solution. There is no marital challenge without a solution. There's no marital question without an answer. Somebody had your kind of problem before and they sorted it out. Now, when you meet a counselor, they can give you 10 examples, even more. People who had your kind of problem and the different measures they used to sort it out. And that way, you will be gleaning from the experiences of many people. That's one of the things you gain by visiting a counselor. You'll be gleaning from the examples of many people, experiences of many people. I think for me, that's one of the greatest advantages of being a marriage counselor. You hear different stories. You hear different experiences and how people were able to overcome different problems in different ways. And then all of those experiences, they become tools that you are going to use to help others. But you see, if you sit back and you don't seek counsel, I can assure you, your marriage will break over an issue that can be resolved. Your marriage will scatter over an issue that can be resolved. Instead of scattering your marriage, instead of getting a divorce, instead of this regular separation, go for counseling. Go for counseling. Go for counseling. Number 2. The first one is a primary. But number 2, if you learn this, I can assure you, even if you are still going to go for counseling, it will help you. A great day. A great day. Don't talk when you feel like talking. Particularly when you are angry. When you are angry, don't say what you feel like saying. Don't talk the way you feel like talking. If you master this, I can assure you, it will solve a lot of problems. Whether you are the man or you are the woman. When you are angry, when your spouse does something you hate, when your spouse does something you don't like, that thing you feel like saying, don't say it. That way you feel like doing, don't do it that way. You feel like starving your husband. You feel like not giving him food. Don't do it. Yeah. You must understand that there are carnal side to all of us. Yeah, there's a carnal side to all of us. There's the revenge side to all of us. Yeah, your spouse has done something wrong. Something tells you to get even. Don't do it. Don't do it. Getting even is part of crossing the line. Yeah, getting even is a show of anger. And if you can overcome that in marriage, I can assure you, you are going to overcome divorce. You will overcome separation. You will overcome marital crisis. Now, you can get angry, but don't sin, in the words of Jesus. Be angry, but do not sin. The way you can be angry and not sin is to ensure that you don't get even. You don't say what you feel like saying. Yeah, I watched the movie many years back. This man and the wife, new wife, went on honeymoon. Now, the woman did something very bad, and the man felt like shouting, felt like slapping, felt like holding the woman and shaking her and pushing her down. The man opened the door and ran out. Even the young lady was afraid. He ran out, ran off about 100 meters, and then came across a shrub. He held the shrub, shook the shrub the way he would have shaken the woman, and then spoke all the vulgar things coming to his mind, spoke them to the shrub. After releasing all the pungent words, all the terrible things in his heart, he released them on the shrub. A shrub is a small tree and all that. He released them on that, and then he began to walk back. And as he was walking back, peace had returned. It's wisdom. Oh. Yeah, it's wisdom. That's why at times it's better to say sorry when you shouldn't say sorry and walk away and go and cool off. Or just keep quiet. And if you feel hanging around is going to cause trouble, walk away and come back later when your heart has come down. Instead of saying something that will multiply the crisis. I have discovered from the counseling room that most of the time, it is not the first problem that is the real problem. It is because somebody has done something wrong, has created a problem, and the other person, instead of refusing to contribute to the problem, he now comes and complicates the problem. Your spouse has done something wrong, and then you retaliate, or you do revenge, or you do something to show your displeasure. Something that is even worse than what your spouse did. You know what you have just done? You have just set a ball rolling that will crash your marriage. Ultimately, a problem that was 20 has become 45. And then she too, or he, or your spouse, as the case may be, we also do something to prove that I am not a fool. You can't treat me like that. It will put something on top. From 45, it will go to 92. Gradually, your marriage is crumbling. Look, marriages don't scatter overnight. Yeah, they scatter little by little. Plies of offenses, layers of offenses, layers of offenses. You put your own layer, your spouse put his own layer, your spouse put her own layer, you put your own layer. Over the years, a time will come, that layer will build and build in between you and close up the gap. You won't see yourselves again. You'll be living in the same house like you are in a dormitory. You become flatmates. The only thing you exchange is good morning, and that will be all. Look, marriages don't break overnight. They break because of pride, because people have problems and they are unwilling to go to people who can help them solve it. It's pride, pure pride. And number two, they are unwilling to be patient. I have discovered that majority of the problems in marriage, if patience is used, it can quench all the fires. Counsel and patience. Counsel and patience. Counsel and patience is the place of patience that tells you don't say what you want to say now. You can say it later when your heart has calmed down. When you'll be able to say it in a good way. But don't say it for now. Don't say it for now. And then you refrain. When the anger has gone down, you can correct your spouse. But at that level, the correction will be without abuse. The correction will be without anger. The correction will be constructive. And then your spouse can accept the correction. Look, there is nobody who does not like correction. What makes correction evil is because it becomes abusive, because you are giving the correction in anger. In anger. So the young man who has 3 children with a woman that he has not officially married, go and marry her officially. And number 2, go and talk to a counselor. And number 3, be patient. Yeah. Be patient. We are all human. Please take note of that. We are all human. Your spouse is a bag of infirmities. Your spouse is a bag of weaknesses. You must understand that part of him, that part of her, and know that it is human to err. Error is a part of an average human being. So when your spouse errs, when your spouse goes wrong, is revealing his humanity. She's revealing her humanity. Don't go overboard. Don't go overboard. Be patient in handling every matter in your marriage. Yeah. If you want to be smart all the time, yeah, you want to fight back all the time, you can't keep a marriage. I'll stop here for today. Do you need to call us? You need prayers? We are always here for you. The number to call is 070-5666-7686. 070-5666-7686. I love you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.